Okay, I think we're live. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday night to you. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. If you're watching this tonight, you're probably not outside doing anything exciting, but I'm glad that you are going to join us or get back on the live or watch back on the video later. But I'd like to welcome you to the live. Let me know that you're here. Leave me a message in the chat. Make sure I got that pulled up where I can see it. There we go. I know, I was like 30 seconds late, Benita, but I'm always late. It's my biggest fan right there, biggest supporter. Well, hey, Susie. Thanks for jumping on tonight. All right, well, like I was saying, glad y'all are here. And tonight I'm just going to talk a little bit. And if you've got a comment or want to add something to the conversation, please feel free to leave something in the chat. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about this week. This is the first time I've ever done a live stream like this. I do live stream for our church all the time, every week. And that's leading up about the 10 or 15 minutes leading up before the service. And so this is a little different, even though it's kind of the same format of just me talking into the camera and watching comments. It's very different because, that's for church and talking about things that are going on with church and making announcements and those kinds of things. And so, this is very different. Hi, Mom. Glad you're on. Hayden. Hayden's my third or fourth biggest supporter. I appreciate that. You're definitely on the podium, Hayden. Yes, Susie, it was a very good birthday week. It was a very busy week, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a few minutes. But yeah, it was a good week. Many of you know, probably if you watch this, you probably know, but I've been making YouTube videos for 7 years. February 2nd was actually the 7-year anniversary or whatever from when I filmed my very first video. I don't think it came out until a few weeks after that. But been doing this for several years and really enjoy doing it. And the last couple years have really tried to be much more consistent and really with a path, an idea of what I'm doing, and making some videos, making some shorts and different content and things like that. And a lot of you have been around from the very beginning, and I appreciate that. But yeah, this last year and a half, 2 years, really been trying to make a lot of different kinds of videos. And so this is something I want to start doing on a regular basis, and maybe other times I'll have more of a topic, things to discuss, but wanted to kind of give it a shot and kind of see how it went and what y'all thought about it. But I'm glad, again, that y'all are here tonight, because otherwise it's just me talking to a camera. But to start off, we're going to talk a little bit about this week. And I set a goal to vlog this week, which every day, that's a daily vlog for 6 days for my birthday week. And I did this another time back in 2021. And so vlogging is something that's kind of how I first got into watching YouTube videos and lots of different vloggers and people that were just doing it daily. And it's definitely something that I've always aspired to doing. But it's really challenging once you really get into it, trying to film throughout your day, go about your regular day without filming every single thing and making it really awkward for those that you're with and hanging out with. And so it's been a little bit of a challenge. I had a list of some things that I wanted to make some different videos about and kind of try to weave some story into my day. And some things just were a little more spontaneous, but turned out really, really well. And this is something I did to myself. Nobody has made me do this or told me to do this. It was something that I wanted to do. Excuse me. But so I hope you understand. I'm not saying like, woe is me, but it's challenging. It's a lot of fun. It's very challenging, and it's very tiring. Benita said it was a good but busy week. And so that's true, because you film part of the day or most of the day, and some days I was able to film what I wanted to do within half a day, and then I was able to kind of edit a little bit throughout the day. But I know 2 nights in particular, I didn't start editing until like 9 or 10 o'clock. And most of those edits were anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And so that just makes for a long week when you're still doing family stuff and got to get up for school and ministry and church and everything that's going on. So again, not complaining, just talking to you a little bit about how it went. So if you watched any of the vlogs this week, let me know which one you thought that you enjoyed the most, maybe that made you laugh, or maybe had something that encouraged you or challenged you or whatever that was. I'll tell you, for me, probably the hardest one to really kind of pull something together, I thought was going to be Wednesday, because I didn't really know what to do. Wednesday was packed with just church stuff, and my computer's making noises, and I didn't start filming anything until early afternoon. And so that was a bit of a challenge, knowing that we had church that night, and I didn't really want to film a whole lot during church. And so I didn't really know how that one was going to come together, but I thought it came together pretty well. That was the one with the hump day video clips and talking about baseball and those kinds of things. And so I think for me, that one ended up probably being one of my most favorite throughout the week. But again, it's a lot of fun and it's challenging, but I was excited that people watched and left comments, and that's very encouraging to know that even though it's a lot of hard work and you're having fun doing it, but when people respond to those kinds of things. And so I really, really appreciate that. Hayden said my intro made him laugh with the camel. I think, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it didn't show all of it. I don't know how to make that bigger. Left off part of your comment there, Hayden. But look at that. That makes it almost look like I know what I'm doing. So yeah, but again, thank y'all for watching and being a part of those videos. And I think definitely want to thank my family, because they put up with me, mainly my wife, put up with me throughout the week when I'd say, hey, I got to go film this, or hey, I gotta sit down and work on my vlog. I can't go to bed right now. I've got to edit this video. And so there were lots of nights she just told me goodnight and went to bed. Yeah, I think that was a picture of him asleep on the bus, Benita. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and talk and do commands, and it's not working. There we go. I don't multitask very well. So anyway, so it was a good week, and I don't want to do it again anytime soon. Friday, yeah, yesterday, that was just yesterday. Friday morning, I was really, really tired, and I had a lot that I needed to do yesterday, and just different things going on, and I really considered not editing. I filmed some yesterday morning, and I really considered not editing anything and just giving myself a pass, because I was tired, and Benita and I were going out on a date last night, and I didn't want to be at dinner with her thinking about, man, I got to get home and edit and those kinds of things. And so yesterday's video, I edited the whole thing in about an hour, and there's really not a whole lot to yesterday's video if you've watched it, but a few drone shots and a lot of just jumping around while I was doing stuff. And I got it done probably by 5 o'clock and uploaded last night and everything. So I was thankful for that. And then I kind of feel like I'm done. You know, I completed my mission, and in doing that, again, that's just a mission I gave to myself, but you know, it is what it is. And it's a good challenge, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to do it again anytime soon. But it really is like anything else. If you the more you do something, you learn a lot about it. And people talk about that with video and creating. You just got to create and create and create, because the more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to feel with it, and the more energy you're going to get along the way, and you're going to kind of find your groove. And in the beginning, those first couple videos, I really just felt like I was just walking through the day and talking to the camera, just saying, okay, now I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I would film it. And that's not really good storytelling. And so as the week went on, I didn't get good at it, but I felt like I got better at it and was able to try to weave some story along throughout my day, and not have to give you boring parts. And you can only film yourself walking into the church so many times. And I do that every day and multiple times a day if I leave for lunch and those kinds of things. And that gets boring and repetitive. And so I was trying to think a little bit outside of the box and do something a little bit creative. And so towards the end of the week, I was able to throw in a few drone shots, which I think always adds to your video and makes it a little more interesting, gives it a little bit different perspective. I will tell this story real quick. I didn't include this in my video yesterday, but yesterday morning I was down by the pond out behind our house, and I was flying my drone around. And as soon as I put it up, just trying to get a few shots, this big buzzard flew out of, I don't know if he was in one of the trees that was out there or whatever, but he was making a lot of noise, and evidently my drone disturbed him. And I kind of thought, ooh, I don't want to invade into anybody's space. And so I stopped my drone where I was, and I could see him on my camera. And so I was watching him through my phone, and I turned my drone, and he swoops around, and I kind of followed him. He swoops around and is coming straight at my drone. And then probably 10 feet away, he just banks and dives like straight down. I don't know if he was trying to intimidate my drone, if he thought it was some kind of threat, and then he got real close and decided, I've never seen one of these things before. But he swooped straight down, and then he came back up, and then you can see him again, kind of just not flying away, but kind of staying in the area. And I thought, okay, I'm bringing my drone back in. And I brought it back and waited a little while before I put it back up, let him get out of the area. Because like I said, I didn't want to lose my drone, but I didn't want him to get hurt or anything like that either. And so my mom was a little disappointed, because I was telling her about that, and she thought it was going to be in the video today, and I didn't put it in there. But I may create a short or something with that later, because it is pretty crazy footage. I mean, and I'm going to be able to slow it down, I think. And he was just coming straight for it, and then just at the very last second. So I'm thankful he did not take out my drone, because I probably would have cried, because I think I was over the pond. So not only would he have hit my drone, it would have landed in the water, and that would have been no bueno. All right. Oops. Okay. How does everybody else's week go? I shared a little bit about mine. Let me know. Anything exciting? Anything good happened to you this week? Leave a comment down there. If you're watching in the replay, leave a comment. Let me know how your week was. Also put out three shorts this week. A couple of those I pre-recorded, and then one I incorporated into the video. And I had somebody tell me today, we were at a Trace Diaz training meeting today, and I got up and did a little devotion to start some things off that morning. And I had somebody tell me that they said, well, I watch a lot of your shorts and stuff on TikTok, or a lot of your TikTok videos. And they said it was weird to hear you, because I thought my phone was going off, because that's how I normally hear you. And that kind of made me laugh a little bit. But yeah, I was able to put out a couple shorts, and a lot of the, hey, did you know, in the Bible. My goal is to have 2 or 3 of those a week. We'll see how that goes. Had a lot of views this week. That was pretty exciting on my shorts. Okay. Well, I want to just talk about a couple other things real quick, and I'll get off of here. I just, like I said, I want to try to start doing this. If it's something that I end up enjoying, and maybe we can set up some topics and some different things, and maybe even have some different people on from time to time. But just wanted to kind of talk about a couple different things and tonight, and some things that I found interesting recently. And one of those, I was listening to a Spotify playlist the other day. Oh wait, hold on. Susie says it was a good week, retiring in 8 weeks. Congratulations. That's awesome. What are you going to do after you retire? Whatever you want, I guess, right? But that's exciting. Congratulations. Right. Yeah, so I was going to tell you this story a little bit because I thought it was really, really interesting. I was listening to this Mercy Me Spotify playlist the other day, and I don't know if I was doing stuff around the house, or Susie says she's going to play. There you go. Whatever you want to do, sister. That's awesome. But I was listening to this playlist, and all of a sudden this song came on, and I thought, it must have gotten off my playlist because this is not Mercy Me. And so I looked on my phone, and Mercy Me sings on part of this song, but the main artist, his name is Walker Hayes. And I didn't know who that was. I looked him up, and I did recognize several of his songs. He's I guess you classify him as a country artist, but he also kind of raps and talks in a lot of his songs. And this song that they did a new version of it with Mercy Me. And if you've not ever heard it, I would encourage you to go listen to it sometime. But it's called Craig, is the name of the song. And it's a really good song. And I'm trying to make sure I got the lyrics pulled up right here. And I don't know all of Walker Hayes' story, but I found a couple articles that confirm that this really is how this went down. And so he wrote this song. But he says, I met Craig at a church called Redeeming Grace, and it's like he understood my "I don't want to be here" face. And he goes on, he goes on to talk about how Craig knew who he was, and talked about some of his lines and some of his music. And he said, "But I'm glad you're here." And he talks about, man, you've got some good skills singing and everything. And he was just very welcoming and very caring and very loving, even though Craig wasn't really sure, or no, not Craig, Walker wasn't really sure about this whole church thing. And then he goes on to talk about in the chorus, and he says, I still haven't figured out this church thing yet, but Craig, I get. And then the chorus says, no, he can't walk on water or turn the Napa Valley red, but he just might be tight with the man that did. He's not the light of the world, but I wish that mine was bright as his, and he might just be tight with the man that is. And it just goes on to talk about kind of some of their interactions, and even to the point where something happened. I guess Walker and his wife, they lost a record deal, and so they were kind of in some hard times. And Craig and his wife showed up with a car to help them get their kids around, and gave them this car. And again, it just goes on to talk about, I don't get a lot of this church thing yet, and I'm still learning, but I get Craig. And I just thought that was so cool. And so I kind of took a deep dive into some of the lyrics and the story behind that, because I just think that's awesome. And, it's that kind of love, I think, that when Jesus is saying in John, I think it's 1 John, when he talks about, that's how people are going to know. That's how people are going to know that you're my followers, is how you love people. And that's the new commandment, is to love. And, I know that's a song, but it had a huge impact in his life and the life of his family. And I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know where he's at, but Craig and his wife showed the love of Christ in a way that wasn't just, hey man, I'm praying for you. And I think that's even in the song too. And I know for lots of us as followers of Christ, that's something that is easy to say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. Oh man, I'll be praying for you. That's tough, right? But to to take that extra step, to sacrifice your own time or to sacrifice your own money, or in this case, your own car, because you know that you feel like that's what God wants you to do, and to be able to bless somebody else and to be there for somebody else. It's just a beautiful thing. And again, I think that goes back, and the more I think about it, I know I'm guilty of falling short in that a lot of times, in showing the kind of love that Jesus wants me to show, and missing out on opportunities that God has put right in my lap and said, here you go. This is an easy one. I'm going to bring somebody right into your path, and all you got to do is love them. All you got to do is show them extraordinary kind of love, God-sized love, and not just pass them by, or not just say, hey, let me pray for you, which those things are good, but to really show them the kind of love that Jesus did. And there's times where that is hard. There's times where I miss it and I get it wrong. But then there's times where God hits me right in the face with it and creates those opportunities, and I'm really thankful for that. And so that song made me think about that, and I just kind of wanted to share that a little bit. And I'll tell you just a really brief story. One time, we live in a pretty small town, and one time I was going into our grocery store, and there was a gentleman there, and I knew that it says something about bit rates not working right. Hopefully that's going to be okay. Uh-oh. Did I just get all glitchy? All right, hopefully we're okay. Good evening, Captain. Glad you're able to jump on. Welcome to the conversation. We're just kind of talking about some different things. Right now we're talking about what it looks like to show extraordinary love like Jesus did. And we're talking about a song by Walker Hayes called Craig. Really good song. I would encourage y'all to go listen to it. But anyway, I went into our grocery store, and there was a guy there, and I knew who he was, and he's around lots of different times, and we've helped him before. Our church has done some things for him. Anyway, I said hi to him, and I walked in, got my stuff. And when I came back out, okay, thanks, Mom. He says, hey, can you give me a ride? And I said, yeah, where do you need to go? I did not have a good attitude about it. And that's, God has convicted me of that, and I've asked for forgiveness for that. But I did not have a good attitude at first. When he first asked me, I kind of thought, oh, man. And so I asked him, where do you need a ride to? And I thought he said, right over behind this restaurant, or to a house back behind this restaurant. But what he said was, the road behind the restaurant, my house is out that way. And so I took him over that way, and he's like, no, turn here, which was the opposite way of where I thought he wanted to go. And we went probably 3 miles outside of town, 3 or 4 miles outside of town. And I dropped him off, and I get out there, and we're kind of talking a little bit. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I hope you have a good day. And even in that car ride while we were talking, God kind of slapped me around a little bit and softened my heart and said, I had this for you today. And so I told him, hey, man, have a great day. And he said, thanks a lot. And I hope things are going good over at such and such church. He thought I was from another church, which I don't care about that. That's not the point of it all. But the cynical side of me thought, man, if I had told him no, he would have thought that I was somebody from a different church. And so I'm so glad that God put him in front of me, and that I said yes, because he doesn't know who I was, and that's not what it was about, but it was about showing Christ's love and being able to show that. And it's a good thing that he didn't know who I was, because it's not about me. It's all about Jesus. But in that moment, I thought, man, if I had said no, he might have badmouthed somebody else from a different church, and that would have been bad. That would have been really bad. So be on the lookout for opportunities to show extraordinary kinds of love, the kind that Jesus does. All right, they're saying that it's kind of going in and out, some of the video and stuff, but yeah, it's gave me a warning, something about my bit rate. I thought I had my bit rate set pretty good, but evidently It's not. I don't even know what a bit rate is, but I'll try to fix that next time. So, all right. Well, that's about all I really have for tonight. I just kind of wanted to jump on and try this thing out. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If there's something that we want to get on and talk about sometime, I may start doing this kind of, maybe once a month and see what's going on and do some different things, maybe get some other ideas. But thank y'all for being here tonight and for watching. And if you're watching in the playback, I hope you enjoyed. If there's something you want us to get on and do a live stream and talk about, leave that idea down in the comments, and maybe I'll do that next time. Because again, like I said, I want to try to do this another time, and I'll try to get my bit rate figured out. I'll look up what my bit rate is and figure that out between now and then. So, all right. Well, thank y'all so much for watching tonight. And it's Saturday night, so I hope you have a good rest of your night. And Benita, miss you. See you tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. Love you. Craig just got on. What's up, Craig? Not Craig from the song that we were just talking about, but a different Craig. Glad that y'all are here. And yeah, let me click over here to this thing real quick. There we go. Yeah, Craig. Craig's from the future. Craig lives in Australia. Welcome, Craig. Craig's a good friend of mine from a creator group that I'm in. Big supporter, and we're figuring out this YouTube thing together. He has a great channel, Morning Star Quest. So, Captain, good morning, good evening, and have a good night too. All right. Well, thank y'all again so much for jumping on, and I'm going to get out of here. Got church tomorrow. Hope that everybody has a great day tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be able to go to church. And I don't know if everywhere else is kind of like here. A lot of people are sick around here right now. So praying that everybody stays healthy and has a good day. Susie, enjoyed chatting with you. Glad that you were here tonight. Craig's having Sunday lunch right now. All right, Craig. Well, thank y'all so much. And I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream now, but we'll see y'all next time. Till next time, walk humbly. We'll see you later.